Hello and welcome to Terraria. My name's Todd, also known as Theo Magic, and this is of course Terraria. Last time we left off, we found our cloud in the bottle, and we're pretty much ready to go to fight the Brain of Cthulhu. Now, the one thing I did want to do this episode is before we go fight the Brain of Cthulhu, we're going to stock up on healing potions. So what that means is we need to get a bunch more glowing mushrooms. We already have a couple, but not enough. I've put a glass bottle down on this table right here, which makes an alchemy station, which means that with 2 lesser healing potions and 1 glowing mushroom, we can make a healing potion. Now, we made a bunch of them right there, but we need to make as many as possible. So we're going to go down to a mushroom biome real quick and gather up as many mushrooms as we can, and then we're going to go fight the Brain of Cthulhu again, hopefully. Hopefully being victorious, that is. Oh, forgive me, I just had to get something because my nose was itchy there. You might have heard me brushing up against my headset. So yeah, shouldn't be too big of a thing. I'm hoping we're not going to run into too many problems. I'm going to grab this real quick. That's some cactus. That'll actually be useful for us here in a moment. And you'll see why. I wasn't expecting to find cactus down here, otherwise I wouldn't have bothered, but because I did, might as well take it with us because it is useful. Really should get some torches up here. Like a torch right there. There we go. That should give us enough light in this area, so now we don't have to do guesswork through there anymore. Thanks to our cloud in a bottle, of course, we have a double jump. And because of that, we can kind of avoid fall damage much easier than we could before. We don't have to do anything fancy, just jump again. Oh, slime is falling from the sky. That means that we could potentially fight King Slime. You know what? Let me go down here and grab as many mushrooms as I can, as quickly as I can, and then we will go back up and we will try and fight King Slime. Because why not? That sounds like fun. That sounds like a cool thing to do. I think we could potentially take on King Slime. I don't think he's that hard. He's the first boss in the game, and we've already kind of fought the Eye of Cthulhu, which is a boss that's kind of ahead of him, so I don't think we'll have a problem with him. Is that a gold salamander? I think it's a gold salamander right there. Let's see, is there any more mushrooms? A couple. Okay, 14, that's not too bad. So slime is now falling from the sky, meaning that just a random amount of slimes are going to appear. And we need to grab this real quick. So that's as many as we can make. It kind of tops us off, which is good. So with the cactus that we just got, if I take 1 cactus and 1 blink root that I found earlier, let me deposit this cobweb real quick. So with that, and I'll deposit my mushrooms, my extra mushrooms, we now have the ability to make a movement speed potion, which is good. Movement speed potions, of course, allow us to move faster, and we'll use that when fighting the Brain of Cthulhu to hopefully move just a bit quicker. So to summon King Slime during a slime rain, you just have to kill enough slimes, which we should be able to do fairly easily, right? Right. We're just going to kill as many as we can as we're running across here. Is there a slime over here? There's a slime over here. Let me get this fallen star. Don't think we'll need it necessarily, but you might as well pick it up anyway. Ooh, that's a lot of zombies. That's a lot of zambies. Wasn't expecting to see so many zambies, but not necessarily that big of a problem. Even in expert zombies are, at a certain point, just completely ineffective against you. You know, I forgot to put torches down over here. Really should. So I can actually see. Sure, we'll put one everywhere that it says we could. And sure, that should be good. Now we can actually see along here without any need for illumination. The closest, that's the closest. Okay, we'll go there. And there we go. That should be good enough. If it's not, oh well. It doesn't have to be perfect, we just have to be able to see. So not only are we getting of course, slime from this, or the gel, that is. But we're definitely getting some materials every now and then. Though the materials aren't the big thing, we're just trying to summon King Slime is what we're really trying to do. I'm pretty sure he can be summoned at nighttime as long as there's a slime rain, but we'll have to see when we manage to kill enough of these bloody slimes. Oh, there's a pinky. I want to make sure not to let him get too close because he could actually do some damage to us. We'll just pop him back with our Shield of Cthulhu there. And he drops lots of gold too. So that's nice. I really wish I had an auto-click sword, that'd be nice. But I don't think we get one until we get True Knight's Edge, if I'm not mistaken. Got that. Murder all of these slimes. And, you know, I was also going to state that this episode is probably going to be a really short one, but with us killing this many slimes and whatnot, maybe it'll be an average length. This episode could be very short just because if we fail against the Brain of Cthulhu a couple times, I don't really think we're going to have too much luck going forward from there. So I think what we'll probably do is we'll resume the next episode by trying to fight the Eater of Worlds instead. As the Eater's kind of a little bit easier, and his drop from Expert Mode as well is also kind of better in general. It provides you with a really nice bonus of just taking less damage overall, so his drop is really good. Compared to the Brain of Cthulhu's, which is okay, but definitely not that good comparatively. Though I will state the Crimson Armor this early on is a lot better. So you'll have to take a look-see when we get a chance. So Fallen Star killed a good number of slimes at this point. I figured he would have spawned already, but I guess that's just me. Maybe he'll spawn once it gets to daytime. Does it have to be daytime for him to spawn? Because if it does, it's kind of annoying. I hope he spawns immediately as soon as daytime happens. But I guess we'll find out as daytime's kind of approaching here quickly. Let's put up some more torches over here. There we go. We'll deal with this zombie. And any extra slimes we can find. The thing about Slime Rain, of course, is they can just fall out of the sky on top of your head, so it's slightly annoying, but not the biggest problem. Just grab a good melee weapon and just go to town, pretty much. Nothing wrong with that, and it's fairly simple. We will be using the cactus and the blink root here in a moment to make the movement speed potion, but like I said, I do want to try and get King Slime to spawn. If we manage to get the slime mount, that would be really nice. Which is something that can only really spawn on expert, at least I think. Maybe it can spawn on normal, but I've never really seen it spawn on normal. But regardless, the slime mount just allows you to jump really high. It also lowers fall damage. Doesn't negate it, just lowers it. It also allows you to fall really far. Or not really far, but really fast. So that's kind of a nice little perk. Especially as we get into the later parts of the game where we'll be having a elevator and things like that. Falling fast is actually kind of a useful thing. Now we're over here next to our Dryad, and she's given us that buff. So I think that's kind of given us an edge against some of these slimes, and it might give us an edge against the King Slime, but we'll have to see. I don't think King Slime's going to be that big of an issue to fight. We're just probably going to destroy him with our magic, as he's kind of a pushover even in expert. Though I do think he does get an extra expert mode attack. I don't think it's impactful in any way, if I remember correctly. 150 is blue slime. King Slime has awoken. Nice. Where is he? Oh, he's right on top of me. A lot of the times he'll spawn to the side slightly, but sometimes he will just spawn directly on top of you, and it is quite annoying when he does that. Let me just go over here real quick. Let me just go underneath of him if I'm able to. Criminies. Oh. Trying to jump over. There we go. If need be, I can jump over our good boy here. Traveling merchant showed up as I'm fighting a boss. Unsurprising. So of course, that's his major mechanic right there, you just saw it. If he gets too far away from you, and also his little slime ads, but if he gets too far away from you, you try and cheese him by getting in a place he can't get to, he'll just teleport on top of you. Kind of annoying, but not the end of the world. Is he... Yeah, he's just getting himself stuck in this little hole right here. The slime minions are kind of more dangerous than he is, really. As you can see. Let me just murder some of these slimes. Perfect. Aside from that, he's just a slime, so there's nothing really that spooky about him. It's not like he can do much more than just jump on you. Though he's been doing some decent damage to me. The spiky slimes that he summons in expert mode, if you weren't ready for those can actually do a decent amount of damage to you as well. So that's kind of unfortunate. Oh, okay. I'm trying to negate as much damage as possible. Oh. Did he spawn inside of my little thing there? That's kind of weird. He's like in the ground there. I don't even know what was happening there. He was kind of getting glitched in the building. Which can happen. It's not the most unusual thing for him to do. Well, he's almost small enough to fit through this little opening. And he's dead. Obviously not that big of a problem. And doesn't really test our skills that much. So I didn't mind fighting him. What? Let's see, I want to find that traveling merchant real quick. And see if he sells anything useful. I don't think he will necessarily, but who knows. What do you got, buddy? You got a cape, you got some sake, pad thai, some fancy dishes, and a kimono. None of this stuff is worth it. If he had sold a celestial magnet, that would have been amazing, but the chance of that is very low. Alright, so now that we've got what we've got, we want to grab one bottle. We're going to come over here to the water, and we're going to make a bottled water. With a bottled water and the cactus and the blink root that we had previously, we should now be able to craft a swiftness potion. Perfect. That's what we needed. We'll dump the rest of our potions in here, and that potion. And we'll quick stack to nearby chests. Oh. Did I quick stack the rest of my potions? Yeah, I did. Of course I did. Let's grab our archery potion back and our night owl potion. Let me go in here, we'll dump all this stuff. Let me grab some of the gel that we used to make some more bombs, because we will need to blow open some areas there. I'm going to open this treasure bag. What did we get? Got some ninja gear. We did get a slimy saddle. That's cool. So his expert drop is just the intrepid royal gel, which makes slimes become friendly. Not useful, really. Can be useful at times, but it's more of just a vanity thing. Also got us a solidifier, so I'll throw that down. The slime hook, I don't think it's better than our jungle hook in any way. Yeah, I don't think it goes as far, nor is it as fast, so we'll just toss that in a chest along with the ninja stuff. But now we got a slimy saddle. So a slimy saddle, of course, allows you to summon the slime mount, which is a nice early game mount, as you can see. Has a massive jump, and thanks to our cloud in the bottle, it has a double jump. Anytime we land on something, it'll cause damage, so it's actually pretty good for fighting early on. Its base movement speed I don't think is any faster than ours. I think it might even be slower, but let me see. Yeah, I think it might be slower than our base movement speed, but the extra bit of jumping height might help us out greatly when we're fighting Brain of Cthulhu. We'll see. I am going to put on a panic necklace instead of the flipper, as I think that's more useful. It's also a manic panic necklace, of course. We also kind of have some of the flipper capability thanks to a cloud in the bottle. We can still jump in the water twice thanks to the cloud in the bottle. So it gives us some of the flipper capability. Not all of it, some of it. I'm going to try my best to jump. Oh, no, I was on a downward slope, so I couldn't jump twice. The other benefit, of course, the slimy saddle is that you can not only jump over enemies fairly easily, but you can also jump in water. Because slimes, of course, float. So water is more of just kind of an inconvenience to us, rather than a massive detriment that we're going to have to pay attention to. You can see that I can boing, and I didn't take any damage, but the enemy did. So that's why the slimy saddle is pretty good in its own right. I think I'm getting a little bit cornered here. The only downside to using the slimy saddle, of course, is you don't have any control over how high you jump. You're just always going to jump a specific height. Though, it's not the end of the world. We'll try and make the best out of it here. I think it's actually going to be quite good for the Brain of Cthulhu. If we manage to get the Brain of Cthulhu done with just this, I would be impressed. If we don't, though, I'm also not going to be super upset, like I said. We've been going at it for some time. We'll definitely just come back with a worm scarf, which is something far better to have at this point. Murder down. Let's just get our magic going. Let's see. Where is some of the scarlet orbs? Is there a scarlet orb over here? Of course there is, but it's way over here. Let's open up this area. Okay. Let's break this heart. We got another panic necklace. It's also a menacing one. I was really hoping for something else. Crimson Heart. Crimson Heart would have been great. What is it? The Blood Rain Staff? I don't remember what it's called. Crimson Storm Staff, I guess. It's the Nimbus Rod, or a weaker version of the Nimbus Rod. This seems to be a good one. But it does give us chill still. Thankfully, looks like our, what is it? Slime mount isn't affected by chill really that much. It might be slightly, but it's not that much. So that's actually kind of a good thing. We're just gonna throw some bombs. Try and empty out the water here. Get rid of it. Oh, I didn't realize that bombs could actually break those. That's good to know. It's very good to know, actually. As with this next one, we'll be waking up the brain. And it's good to know that they will be broken by just the bombs alone. So we'll have to be much more careful with these. I say as I throw multiple to get down there quicker. And boom. Bada bop. Okay. So we've freed it out. I guess I'm gonna have to come down here. Oh, no. Okay, I got another ooh. There he is. We managed to avoid the first hit, which is good. We need to start damaging those eyeballs. I also need to buff up. Oh. So I don't think I can jump on the brain's actual body right now, just because it's invulnerable. I also just can't jump if it doesn't count landing on them, the eyeballs, if you're just on the ground, if you know what I mean. It only counts it, what is it, if you're in the air. So if you jumped with the slime mount, it only does damage to things under you if you've jumped previously. Doesn't really care about if you're still on the ground. Boy. Oh. Got a couple vertebrae, or what is it, the cells, the tissue samples, that's what it is. So even just getting some of these tissue samples means that we're actually still making progress. It's the one nice thing about this boss. It is slightly forgiving in that regard. As you can see, just by having the slime mount, that's an insane benefit to us. I was not expecting that in the slightest. I can really kind of traverse this area much, much quicker than you'd expect me to. Kind of deal with these eyeballs much quicker. Get out of here, eyeballs. There is, of course, the next phase after the eyeball phase, which is the hard phase for us. But it seems we're kind of struggling just with the eyeballs, so... At least we're not dead yet. That's the benefit, is we haven't died yet. And it means we'll probably actually be able to fight him off fairly easily. Yep. We do enough knockback that we can actually push him back, which is good, if we can know where he is. So now he does the madness mechanic, which is something he only does in expert mode. It's kind of spooky. But we can now bounce on him, which is kind of funny. So if he's under us, we can use that to our advantage to get an extra damage. Extra damage. We're going to cheap him out here. Just bouncing him into the ceiling. We took a lot of damage there, though. Holy cow. So now that he's kind of weak, we have to be very careful as to which one is the real one. And it's very hard to tell, if you couldn't already notice. But our slime mount actually trivialized that. I was not expecting the slime mount to be that good. Holy shit. That was impressive. I didn't in any way expect the slime mount to be so good against the Brain of Cthulhu, but there you go. The slime mount is amazing. Our buffs, of course, didn't hurt. And let's just get out of here before we die to something silly. So yeah, now we've got the Brain of Cthulhu's treasure bag. So now when we open that up, get a bunch more tissue samples, get a bunch more Crimtain ore, and we also get the Brain of Cthulhu Confusion. May confuse nearby enemies after being struck. It's somewhat useful against normal enemies, but of course it doesn't work on boss enemies, so I don't really think I'll be equipping it anytime soon. Though because we have the Crimson stuff, we can of course make a bunch of Crimtain bars. We're just going to make as many as possible. And the first thing we're going to make definitely is a Deathbringer pickaxe. That will replace our previous pickaxe, and now we can mine Hellstone. We can also mine most things before pre-hard mode. Let's see. I guess I could make a Crimson armor set. 6 defense, 5, 6, 20, 25, 15. So that's 60, I think. 25, 15, yeah, it's 60, so we have enough. So I can go like this, and like that. And now we have a Crimson armor set. So the benefit of the Crimson armor set is greatly increased life regeneration, which is a godsend. Plus it does increase damage. So I really like using the Crimson set. At least until we can get the meteorite set, which should spawn eventually. I'm going to dump off my jungle set. Now that we've got a pickaxe though, we can of course just fight. Just mine more stuff. We can mine Hellstone now, which means that we could make Hellstone armor, which is probably the best thing we could have pre-hard mode. Let's use our gun. Why not? Let's take out this one, and we'll just sell these. I'll also sell my old pickaxe because I don't need it anymore. And look at how much money we got from that. We got lots. The thing about extra mode for sure is you definitely get lots and lots of money. So reforging later on isn't necessarily that hard. Let me quick stack to nearby chests. Also throw this in there. And thanks to all the tissue samples that we got, we could still make the other crimson stuff without even fighting the Brain of Cthulhu again, just by mining some crimson, so that wouldn't be too hard. We might decide to do that, but definitely next time our major goal is to, what is it, to fight the Eater of Worlds. Forgive me, my brain was just completely going blank there. So the next objective for us is to fight the Eater of Worlds, just because of the fact that if we fight the Eater of Worlds, we have a massive advantage by using the Worm Scarf. The Worm Scarf drop from him, as you'll see in expert mode, is great. Aside from that, let's see. Blood Crawler, flag, we'll put that in there. Yeah, line all this stuff up. Let's dump off this bow and also this other panic necklace. But yeah, I was definitely surprised that the fucking, or forgive me, that the basic slime mount was so strong against the Brain of Cthulhu, but apparently jumps. That's really what you need when you go fight the Brain of Cthulhu. Let me grab out all this real quick and see, can I craft anything else with this? It doesn't appear so. Nope. If we had more bars, we probably could, but we do not. So let me take all this, actually. We're just going to dump it in this chest instead, so we know where it is. So yeah, we could also fight the Eye of Cthulhu if we wanted more stuff, but right now, I think that's a good place to end the episode. We just had a massive victory. So until next time, goodbye.